Welcome, professional wrestling fans, to the PW Fan. This is episode 171, our WrestleMania special edition. I am your host, collector, barber, and musician, Talk Wrestling, Tim Gilbert.
And I'm your host, the architect of Pro Wrestling Podcast, Andy.
And hopefully joining us in a little bit will be the no-selling indie wrestling fan, Jeremy. He's a little busy right now, but hopefully he'll be on in a bit because I know he wants to talk Mania with us. But yeah, we got a big episode to talk about today. A lot of good things, exciting. All wrestling fans' favorite time of the year. But before we get started on this week's episode, please follow us on social media, youtube.com/@thepwfanpod. Please subscribe. Watch the video version of the pod. And if you're if you're somebody who just likes to listen on Spotify but you do have other social media, follow us at the PW Fan on TikTok and Instagram. Andy, might as well just pass it over to you. We got a long episode, a big one. It's the WrestleMania extravaganza.
This week we're going to talk about WrestleMania Night 1, Night 2, and I was going to say Night 3, but the Raw after Mania, because it felt like WrestleMania Night 3.
Yeah.
Which is, we usually don't cover Raw for this current week on the pod that we record, but it was so big and we're recording afterwards, so
it would feel like we kind of missed out if we didn't cover it.
I agree. So I will say at the start, since it's such a big pod and we really want to get into the WrestleMania part, I don't even know if you're going to talk for a while. I'm going to run through some of these other shows just to catch people up, and then once we actually get into it,
run through what led us to these, the main events, and then we'll talk about the actual part.
But we also have Dynamite and Collision to talk about, so I will get us there. All right, let's run through Dynamite from the 16th. Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament Semifinal. Mercedes Moné versus Athena. Mercedes would defeat her with a jackknife pinning combination to advance to the finals. We had a backstage segment with Hangman Adam Page and the Elite. Renee would interview Hangman before you could say much. The Elite, Matt, Nick, and Okada would interrupt. Matt forgave Page for leaving them last year, and Nick mentioned they prevented Swerve from winning the title as Page wanted. Okada would tell Page to smile more, calling him a bitch, which led to a tense exchange between the two. Then we had Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament Quarterfinal, Hangman Adam Page versus the Wild Card, and this was the debut of Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander is from TNA. Before his time in AEW, Ethan Page was his tag team partner in TNA. This is an acquisition that people have been wanting for a while. So he made his debut as the wild card entrance in a hard-fought match. Page would secure the win with a small package. After the match, Don Callis and Kyle Fletcher would confront Page, and after a bit of a scuffle, Josh Alexander would attack Page from behind, laying him out with a powerbomb, followed by Fletcher hitting a brainbuster. So now it looks like Josh Alexander has joined the Don Callis family. Backstage, we had a promo from the Patriarchy. Nick Wayne would begin to speak about the hierarchy in his group, but Kip Sabian pointed out that Christian was actually present. He hasn't been seen on TV for a little bit. Christian would remind Nick of his responsibilities and announced that Nick Wayne would participate in New Japan's Best of the Super Junior tournament. He also scheduled Nick to face Commander for the ROH World Television Championship on the upcoming Collision episode, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. The AEW World Tag Team Championships were on the line. Hurt Syndicate versus the Gates of Agony. Hurt Syndicate would retain their titles, and after Bobby Lashley would deliver a spear to Bishop Khan for the win. After this, at Maxwell, Jacob Freeman would come out. He would enter the ring, and he praised the Hurt Syndicate, offering them gifts and alliances. He introduced 7 women, which came out dressed in black, who entered the ring. They would pamper Lashley and Shelton. MJF then offered his watch to Shelton Benjamin in exchange for an alliance. Shelton responded that he needed more time, tapping where he'd wear a watch, implying that he wanted MJF's watch in the end. But Bobby was able to convince Shelton not to align with MJF. Continuing on with the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, Will Ospreay versus Takeshita. This was the best match on the show. Ospreay would defeat Takeshita with the Stormbreaker to advance to the finals. And the main event was the World Trios Tag Team Championships. Death Riders, this time with Jon Moxley defending the titles with Claudio and Wheeler since Pac is hurt, against the Ops, which is Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Shibata. The Ops would end up capturing the Trios titles after Samoa Joe made Jon Moxley unconscious with the Coquina Clutch, which led to a referee stoppage. Post-match celebrations would include an appearance from Will Ospreay, which would highlight the triumph for the new champions. Oh, that was a mouthful.
I just, to go over, just to touch on one thing, I just want to say about the Takeshita and Ospreay. I actually like both those guys, so it was cool to see them work a match together.
Yeah, and they've done some things before in the past, especially with the international championship. But it's nice to get a match like this on. Both guys are great, man. I remember. Do you remember when Takeshita was a big baby face and he was just like new?
Yeah,
and we were like, man, this guy's gonna be good, and he's definitely been in a main spot for a while. All right, Collision. The show opened up with Marina Shafir dragging a production crew member onto the stage, which would initiate a bit of a chaotic scene. Claudia would destroy a camera and assault a cameraman, while Wheeler Yuta caused further mayhem at ringside. Jon Moxley then issued a challenge to Samoa Joe. He would express his disdain for the Young Bucks and warned them to stay away. Opening match was Kevin Knight against Lance Archer with Don Callis. Kevin Knight achieved a upset by defeating Lance Archer with a springboard lariat. After the match, Ricochet would interrupt Knight's backstage interview, which led to a heated confrontation between the two. We had the Don Callis family, Josh Alexander again, and Takeshita teaming up against the conglomeration, Ishii and Rocky Romero. Josh Alexander and Takeshita would secure victory over them both. After the match, Trent Beretta would return and attack Ishii with a wrench, and Romero joined in, turning on his partner, Ishii, from the match. This marked Romero's alignment with the Don Callis family and the reunion of Roppongi Vice, which was Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero's team in New Japan. Megan Bayne with Penelope Ford defeated Ashley Vox and Rebecca Scott in it was a 2-on-1 handicap match because Megan Bayne just had Penelope at ringside. Then we had an Anthony Bowens vignette. It highlighted Bones' journey and setting the stage for his upcoming return to TV full-time. TNT Championship Open Challenge. Adam Cole would defeat Claudio Castagnoli. He retained his championship in a hard-fought match against Claudio, secured the victory with a crucifix pin. After the match, Claudio would destroy more stuff, including the broadcast booth, prompting Moxley and the Death Riders to intervene. Backstage, Kevin Knight, Mike Bailey, and Ricochet would get into it. During a backstage interview with Renee Paquette, Knight and Speedball Bailey would be interrupted by Ricochet, which led to an exchange and possible future confrontations. 3 more segments. ROH World Tag Team or World Television Championship, which I talked about from Dynamite, that was scheduled. Nick Wayne versus Commander. Nick Wayne would capture the ROH TV title by using the Prodigy Plex on Commander, ending Commander's 119-day reign. This has now made Nick Wayne the youngest singles champion in AEW history. So he's going to be going into that New Japan tournament as a champion now, which is probably why they did it. All right. Top Flight and CRU. Top Flight addressed CRU. CRU is Leo Rush in Action. Andretti, I don't even know what CRU stands for. They announced a tornado tag match for the upcoming Collision Playoff Palooza. Leo Rush and Action Andretti confronted them backstage, leading to an exchange which had to be separated. And the main event was Chris Statlander and Julia Hart defeating Mercedes Moné and Harley Cameron in a tag match. And that is AEW for this week. Gosh. All right. Let's run through so much. It's a mouthful. Anything to add, Tim?
Not much on the AEW side this week.
Yeah. All right. So everything this week in WWE was go home shows. I'll try to make it brief. Gunther would open up Raw. He addressed his upcoming opponent, Jey Uso. He claimed that Jey was fortunate he didn't lose control during his attack on Jimmy. He said, "If I had lost control, I would have drowned us both in Jimmy's blood." Bayley would defeat Liv Morgan in a singles match. Rey Mysterio would defeat Julius Creed. Post-match, El Grande Americano, Tim's favorite superstar, would attack Mysterio with a loaded mask.
It just makes me want Starbucks.
AJ Styles had a match with Karrion Kross, man,
Without milk.
in which AJ would win. It was interesting. I don't know if you saw the ending of this match, or noticed it, but when AJ went for the phenomenal forearm, Karrion Kross just put his arms behind him and took it.
Yeah.
Fans are starting to become behind Karrion Kross, dude. I don't know if you noticed their pop for him on the Raw after Mania.
I'm with it.
I don't know what it is. He hasn't done much lately, but like backstage stuff. But he's coming around.
People they like the shtick.
Yep. After the match, Logan Paul would enter. He taunt AJ, delivered a punch, followed by his fucking awesome move, the pulverizer finisher, which left AJ laid out.
Folks, it hurts me to say it.
It's great.
It's a great move.
Jey Uso addressed the WWE Universe, expressing his determination to defeat Gunther at WrestleMania. This was more, I believe, of a serious promo. He acknowledged basically that he's not scared of Gunther anymore. And he would bring Yeet Mania to WrestleMania. The Judgment Day would attack Braun Breaker backstage. We had Penta versus Finn Balor, ended in no contest due to other people from the upcoming Fatal 4-Way getting involved. And the final segment was Roman Reigns made his appearance, accompanied by Paul Heyman. Heyman mentioned repaying a favor he owed, alluding to the alliance with CM Punk. Seth Rollins confronted them, questioning Heyman's loyalty and suggesting he chose Punk over Reigns. Reigns attacked Rollins, shoved Heyman. Punk would enter. Reigns would spear him. Rollins recovered, attacked Reigns with a chair, delivered a stomp to both Punk and Reigns, and Rollins was standing tall as the show concluded. These end segments with these guys, man, have been chaos. I'm loving it.
And we got some good stuff to come. Yeah.
All right, Smackdown, the final Smackdown before Mania, opening segment. Seth Rollins would deliver his own little pipe bomb, sitting in the middle of the ring like CM Punk. Passionate promo. He expressed his willingness to sacrifice everything to defeat Roman Reigns and CM Punk at WrestleMania. He recounted his personal sacrifices, including last year's Mania, to help Cody win, and help Cody win while his stepfather, he said, was battling cancer at the time. And he would emphasize his commitment to shape the future of WWE. This will come in later. We had the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, in which Carmelo Hayes would win. The final four people were Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Shinsuke, and Rey Fenix. We had a 6-man tag match, Rey Mysterio, Rey Fenix, and Dragon Lee versus American Made, in which, let me see here. I didn't even write down who won. Wow. That is not like me. I believe American Made, though, would win. WWE Tag Team Championship match, Street Profits versus Motor Machine Guns. They defended their titles against them. During the match, DIY interfered. The Street Profits would end up retaining in the end despite the interference. Rhea Ripley had a segment. She addressed the WWE Universe, expressed her determination to reclaim the championship at Mania. This was interrupted by Io Sky, followed by Bianca, followed by Naomi and Jade Cargill. This escalated into a brawl among all 5 women, culminating with Io Sky doing moonsault to the group on the outside and standing tall in the end. Two more segments. Tag team match: LA Knight and Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu and Solo. LA Knight teamed with them, face these two. Knight would secure the victory, countering a Samoa Spike into a BFT. And then the main event segment was the final: John Cena and Cody Rhodes face to face. Another verbal exchange. Cena criticized Rhodes' journey to the top, while Rhodes accused Cena of overstaying his welcome. This ended with a crossroads to Cena, leaving him lay out as the show ended. All right. Gosh.
You had to take a drink. Trying to get a drink.
All right, so let's start off night one, man. This WrestleMania had some criticism to it. If you've seen, have you noticed that?
Yeah, I mean, not
Dude, some people are saying it's the worst of all time next to
ah
27. I was like, I don't know
right.
about that.
Go
But
back and watch the last one in Las Vegas when they had the togas on, and Hogan comes out and
was that
screw.
9? There's a whole documentary about it.
Yeah, they try to rewrite history, say that that was like a cool WrestleMania. That
Fucked
WrestleMania
over Brett, right?
sucks. It's a horrible WrestleMania.
But 27, we remember we went over it like last time.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Yeah.
When you read me back the card.
All right. Night one opened with Jey Uso defeating Gunther. Jey Uso is the new champion. And the big thing that people did not like about I thought it was a good match. Historical win for Jay. There was an emotional payoff in the end. But people felt it hurt Gunther's legacy by Gunther tapped out.
Someone had mentioned on social media that they thought that Gunther was actually pissed about this.
Really? I wonder how they would know.
I think it was a fellow former wrestler,
Okay.
but it must have been not been anything crazy because I can't remember the name.
Well, so one, I'm surprised his pop wasn't bigger, Jay's, because there was a pop on night two that was crazy and it was bigger than Jey Uso's, and we'll talk about it. But how do you feel about? I mean, did we figured Jay was going to win, right?
I mean, yeah, but this was his time. We kind of I felt it in the air.
Do you think Gunther takes a break for a little bit?
Yeah, I think there's a couple guys that are taking a break after this Mania, as they should. They'll come back. It'll be huge. Huge.
Well, I mean, I know, like, you know, Cody worked a lot, like so many dates. Gunther was doing house shows all the time with CM Punk.
Yeah.
I mean, Gunther was running hard. So we're now in the Yeet era, you could say, and Gunther has been dethroned. But yeah, I think that Gunther should take a step back, have people miss him. People don't want to leave, but I feel like, I mean, as a fan, taking a step back and let me miss you for a little bit is always a good thing. Like when Rollins got hurt all those years ago when he was the architect, and then he came back, and I was like, I didn't like him at the time because he was a bad guy. But then as time went by, I was like, damn, I miss Rollins. Rollins was a good part of TV. And then he came back at Extreme Rules.
Yep.
And then we saw him the next night.
Yeah, we saw him the next night come back.
Okay.
And I didn't need any of you. That was whenever he went back to being heel.
We were all cheering him. He's like, yeah. And then he turned on us.
Sinclair must have gotten to
him. This next match, I didn't
King, care. He's the best wrestler. No, dude. So me and Derek were walking in the parking lot. Derek's the guitar player in my band, who doesn't really like wrestling, but he loves Ready to Rumble. And like, so he just says it's a terrible movie that he loves. And like, so we're like carrying all this stuff to our cars, and I just hear him go, "He's the best wrestler.
Really?
He's the bestler, better than all the wrestler."
Dude, that's how people feel about Grind. It's a terrible movie that he loves, but I love it.
Dude, I love Grind too. Movie. If people haven't seen Grind, it's the best skateboarding movie ever. But it's the best.
I thought it was like the funniest shit ever the first time I saw it. Okay, second match. I'm gonna be honest, man. I didn't really care for it. I kind of checked out. World Tag Team Championship match. New Day would defeat the War Raiders. I mean, good chemistry, but not a lot of time to breathe. I think we predicted this heel New Day would win. What I'm hoping, because Tag Team Championships, I feel like haven't lately been in a good spot, and I think with the New Day, it could be showcased more than the War Raiders. But the build was rushed, and it wasn't a strong build, and I think that's why. Also, the second spot isn't very good usually. Jade Cargill defeated Naomi. She made her WrestleMania singles debut. Dominated, overpowered Naomi, finished her off with the Jaded. Naomi got a few moments on offense, but it was clearly a presentation for Jade. It was clean. It was crisp. A lot of people. I was on Twitter, or I call it Twitter. I was on X at the time to see what people were saying about matches as they went along, and a lot of people liked this match. There was some spots, Naomi jumping off the top rope, Jade catching her, and popping her up in for like a suplex, but maybe it needed more time. That was kind of the only downside, but I thought they did well.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I like Jade.
Yeah, me too. And we liked her in AEW too.
I'm a Jade guy.
Look, man, she's still green to me.
To me.
All right. United States Championship, Jacob Fatu.
Let's go full throttle.
Let's go full throttle. You don't know how precious you are to me.
To me. Let's go full throttle.
And if you want to see me do that on your mom's house, you can go check out an old episode with what's her name?
Whitney Cummings.
Whitney Cummings. There we go.
Jeremy, let's go full throttle.
Is he here?
He's here.
I'm here.
All right. We're in the middle of Mania. We're just getting to Jacob Fatu and LA Knight.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Anything to say about Jey Uso and Gunther and Naomi and Jade? And
I would say even though Jey Uso and Gunther wasn't like an amazing match, it was still like a nice moment, I think, afterwards with Jey and kind of celebrating and everything, which continued on Monday. But I think that's more like kind of like the reasons why Triple H gave the reasons why he's in that spot. It's not because of his wrestling, it's like his character, and everyone loves him. So
yeah, he's very popular, man. We are covering last night's Raw, by the way.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
That's how we're going to end the show. Because we felt we were going to miss out. We were going to be the pod that missed out if we didn't cover it.
The pod that missed out.
The old news pod.
You're be like, get out of here. All right, United States Championship, Jacob Fatu. He brought power and chaos to Mania. He would dethrone LA Knight. It was pretty much a one-sided affair, which is surprising considering, it's LA Knight. He had a brutal top rope Samoan drop followed by multiple moonsaults and would secure the pin. Knight would barely have any offense, which I think disappointed a lot and hoped for a bigger showcase at Mania. I really, really thought Solo was going to interfere and LA Knight was going to retain, but maybe that comes later.
It was tough for LA Knight though, because I think Tim, you were saying before, like he was supposed to be like such a big guy. Now
he was almost there.
Yeah, he was almost there.
I almost saw him like how I see like a Punk or Rollins or Roman. He was like just so close.
Yeah, didn't make it.
They blew it. You had it on. You blew it.
Our next match was supposed to be Rey Mysterio in it, but he is legitimately hurt. So instead, they last minute changed to Rey Fenix, and it was El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix.
I need a coffee right now.
Fast-paced lucha style match. Americano would pull off a sneaky victory once again using the hidden metal piece in his mask. Phoenix had a bunch of high-flying moves, but the cheating overshadowed the athleticism of the match. Controversial finish had the crowd buzzing, though not always positively. Positives of this match, great in-ring action, but the gimmicky ending kind of weakened the wrestling quality some people felt. Makes me wonder, though, would Americano have won? Because we don't know who this guy is. Would he have won?
No idea.
It's not Chad Gable.
It's definitely not Chad Gable.
It's definitely not Chad Gable.
Would he have won if Ray was in the match, or do you think he was going over the whole time?
I still think he was going to go over.
Yeah.
He's getting his heat, brother.
All right. I'm like, some people are iffy about this match, and some people really liked it. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Some people thought it fell flat in the execution and that it had potential. Awkward exchanges. Some people thought Charlotte might have sandbagged Tiffany at times, and timing issues.
Well, that's just not professional.
Some technical hiccups. Tiffany hit her signature moonsault and retained, marking the biggest win of her career. This was a big rub for Tiffany, but possible poor chemistry and sloppy pacing. Tiffany had a really cool entrance with the Barbie doll boxes. And did Charlotte show up in a car?
Yeah, she was like, I forget what it was, but like basically had like a chauffeur and people letting her out of the car and all that.
LA Knight showed up in a car as well.
Yeah, they're kind of almost the same way.
Yeah. So yeah, thoughts on as I was watching it, I enjoyed it. And then I saw people break it down more, and I was like, maybe I saw a different match than y'all, or I don't know. What are your guys' takes?
I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was anything great, but I did think there were some awkward things that kind of like pulled you out of it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with Jeremy on that. And sometimes people just don't have chemistry.
I mean, I will say the stuff that went off script made people more excited for it, for sure.
I don't think they capitalized on it like they should have, like in the match. I mean,
yeah. Okay.
Woo!
Then we had the main event. I know you guys want to talk about night one main event.
Here we go.
All right. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk in a triple threat match. There was a lot going on here. Let's just get to the twist at the end. Paul Heyman would betray both Roman and Punk to help Seth Rollins win. Some dramatic storytelling, wild mix of finishers, false finishes, emotional crowd reactions.
he smashed them both in the balls to turn on them.
So he grabs a chair. Paul Heyman grabs a chair at the end, and he slides it. He's looking at Roman and Punk. He slides it into Punk. Punk's about to use it, and Heyman low blows him, and he's like crying. Hands it to Roman. He says, "I acknowledge you, my tribal chief." And then Roman grabs a chair and he low blows Roman while Seth is set up.
And he's not crying when he low blows.
He's not crying.
Roman.
He was angry at
Also,
Roman.
the way he did it to Roman, he like his fist.
He's like, give it a rub.
And like a lot of people predicted, man, he sided.
That's how Vince would have described him to do it. He's like,
yeah, Vince would have been like,
and when you do it, get in there. Rub it.
It appears Jerry Lawler suffered from anal bleeding.
What?
Dude, did you see that? I said that to you guys.
Oh, that one, yeah.
It's like the shit that Vince had Michael
Booker
Cole
T's like,
say.
what?
He's like, he also seems to be suffering from anal bleeding. Booker T goes, what? And then you just see JR, who at this point you can tell he's just so over this bullshit. He's like, fuck this shit. Because I think this is after they had already done the JR. It seems you always did have your head up your ass. And they like did like the Operation Dr. Heine on him and like pulled JR's head out of his own ass.
That was a crazy time.
Dude.
So this main event, Tim, you had to watch a little bit later while me and Jeremy Moore watched on time. But we all ended up seeing it in the end and kind of texted back and forth. Besides the twists and everything that we've already talked about, talk to me, guys, about the match itself. Tim was saying, best triple threat at Mania ever? I mean...
For me, it might have topped the Michaels Benoit Triple H one.
It was very good, like especially towards the end when all three hit their finishers in that sequence. Yeah. That was really great.
The only part, I was watching it with my father-in-law, and the thing that bugged him, and I was explaining to him that, yeah, like this match is like tough because of that. He'd be like, yeah, but why is the other guy just like laying there for so long? And I'd be like, yeah, like it's like he has to sell the move, but like he's like, yeah, but it's like a long time. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing to like really like plan out, you know?
Yeah, and also it's like hard when you're supposed to be like waiting for something, like there's only so long you can act like you're holding your arm or whatever.
We'll talk about it later. I felt like that happened to Punk on Raw on Monday.
Dude, Raw was rough for him.
Dude, he took that. Well, I'm not gonna say anything yet, but he takes a curb stop, but bro had to like wait on the outside of the ring for like the Roman to make the longest entrance ever. I was like, dude's been laying there for a minute.
Also, well, I mean, like, we'll talk about it later, but
yeah, we'll get it.
Do you think the triple threat is better than Benoit, HBK, and Triple H from WrestleMania 20?
That's what I said.
You do.
That was the first thing I said.
Is it better than Daniel Bryan, Randy, and
much?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is it better than
Even though there's no title even involved in this, I think it's definitely better.
Cena, Triple H, and Randy?
Yes.
Okay. It's cool moments. Everyone likes of Roman diving over the barricade. But he checked on his boys when he did it. He checked on him. I saw. As soon as he landed, he checked on Punk.
Saw the hand.
Yeah, it was great, man. Roman's teeth are whiter than Seth's gear, is what I said.
His teeth are crazy now. I can't even, like, when he's doing a spear, I'm like, oh my god.
I
Early
thought
whites.
the match, the way everything went in the end, right decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Seth was also do this from last WrestleMania because he did everyone a job there.
Off air.
Seth had to get hit in the back with like a chair in a Shield costume and like
Off
go
air-
rolling out of the ring.
Off air Punk was seen smiling, laying down in the ring, and then he got up and he was looking around. He kissed the mat. He said, "I fucking did it."
Yeah, it was cool.
That was a cool moment for him, yeah.
Happy days.
Happy times.
So that was night one. I will say there were some matches that, like, there was some things I was just like, this Mania didn't. Maybe because we were there, man. Last year's Mania just felt.
Well, last year's, like, even to everyone else who wasn't there, they said it was one of the best ever. So I think it's hard for next year, like this past one, to be even close to it.
People were like, "This booking sucks. Get Triple H out of there. Fire him."
What?
He did last Mania too.
They were like, "But those were Vince's storylines coming to an end."
No.
Also, just the overall, like,
I need the egg. My egg.
All right. Let's get into night two. Opening match, I felt like was the best match on night two's card. Women's World Championship, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca.
Yeah,
Belair.
this was. I won't lie. This was a banger.
I figured it was going to be. It flowed well. Everyone got highlighted. Io would retain clean. And I really hope her reign, even though she has already been champ for the past couple weeks, I hope this reign is better than last year's because it felt lackluster last year.
yeah. And also, I hope after this, we finally get a Bianca heel turn.
Dude, that hair whip is vicious, bro. When she
You heard
whips
that?
it,
It hurts. You can, like, feel it when she does it.
Yeah.
I can feel it through the screen. I'm like, God damn.
Then we had the Sin City Street Fight. Drew and Damon. These guys were out to prove that they could. They were like, "Fuck it, fuck this
We're doing it
storyline.
live."
We're on the number 2 spot. Let's try to make it good." Brawled through the arena in a street fight with chairs, tables, and a blackjack table spot. Even those tables, man, those announce tables that they were going through were like shattering wood.
Yeah, and they kept doing it each night, right? There was multiple times.
Oh, speaking of, I want to, before we get too far away from it, there was the spot in the triple threat match with Punk and them of he almost teamed with Seth to do the power bomb.
Roman's never gonna trust Seth ever again.
No, never, man. And I love it. It's just the consistency of it.
Roman is extremely valid to have trust issues for his whole career so far.
He's always been loyal, man. People have just betrayed him. So this match was chaotic in a good way. It ended with a massive Claymore kick. I'm glad Drew won. I felt like he should have. Then we had the Intercontinental Championship. Dude, this pop for the winner was bigger than Jay's. All right?
Yeah, it was.
So Dom came out with a kind of pretty cool mask. A little trouble taking it off. It was Dom, Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta. Dominic Mysterio would steal the win in the 4-way, hitting a frog splash on the Finn after Braun Breaker's spear. Everyone had their own unique style. It was nonstop, hot crowd. Fans popped. Dominic left the ring, then ran back to celebrate more because everyone was so hyped on it.
I just watched that movie too.
The Grinch?
Yes.
Hot crowd. It's a weird time to be watching it. But
It's so good.
It's so good. What do you mean?
I can't cancel that again.
Yeah, where he's like going through this like list of what he has to do. He's like, I just can't make it.
5 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
Stare into the abyss.
Dinner with myself. I can't cancel that again.
Yeah, I can't cancel that again. Got me.
He's like, although I could get into bed and slip slowly into madness.
I like this is a random episode in April. We're going to talk about the Grinch.
The Grinch. It's amazing.
Okay. 4th match. Randy Orton versus his mystery opponent. It's funny. I was texting Corey before this. He was like, who do you think it's going to be? I was like, watch it be either Miro or Joe Hendry. And then all of a sudden, the doors open.
You were talking about the pop. Dude, the pop was crazy.
The doors open, backs turned. Say his name and he appears happen.
I believe in Joe Hendry. By the way, WWE and Joe Hendry, I don't know which one. Dude, they almost got my Instagram account fucking deleted today because I reposted his WrestleMania entrance from the WWE page on Instagram.
Was there copyright?
Yeah, and it kept hitting me with like copyright. It was like warning me not to do it. I was like, it's their page.
This is their page.
I was like, I'm reposting it from your page.
Yeah, big pop in the crowd. Randy Orton looked around. He's like, all right, maybe he didn't know too much about Joe Hendry.
He was
maybe
like,
not. He was like, all right. Randy, now his gear.
I noticed it right away.
Yeah. Not the look, but the color-wise were from his Ruthless Aggression days.
Yep.
There was a cool video package with all of his Mania stuff beforehand. All right, so people were pissed that it was short. They were like, oh, it buried TNA, it buried Joe Hendry. Bro, this is Randy Orton. There's levels to wrestling.
Right. And
don't put TNA on the same level as WWE. You know damn well when WWE stars come to a other company, it's a big deal for a reason. Because WWE is looked at, these are monsters.
Yeah, and it's Randy Orton, like you said. Like, and it's WrestleMania. Like,
also
Joe Hendry's the champion there. It's like it's fucking Randy Orton, it's WWE, and it's WrestleMania.
Also see what happens on Monday with Randy. So I think that's also why.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't just he squashed him. But so Joe Hendry in the middle of the match. Joe Hendry in the middle of the match does the pose.
Hardy.
He does the pose. Randy Orton comes up, RKO's him. 1, 2, 3.
That was a dark time when Jeff Hardy was doing.
Randy Orton shakes Joe Hendry's hand, RKO's him again, does his own pose. End of the match in the segment. All right, Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. Despite interference from Karrion Kross, Logan Paul defeats AJ Styles clean.
I hate that.
The match exceeded expectations for some. To me, it did not.
No, I think this is one of Logan Paul's worst matches, actually, I think.
It just... I wasn't in, man. I wasn't locked into it.
No, me neither. And also the fact
that Styles lost clean.
Just the fact that he's lost clean, and like the fact that Logan Paul, you say now Logan Paul beat AJ Styles, which I hate that's a sentence.
The other thing that kind of kills me is that like I just know now because I've heard him say it on his podcast. Like he practices those matches so much before he does them.
Yeah,
and like
choreograph, yeah.
And like, so if the crowd isn't reacting to like stuff, are they switching it on the fly, or does he just keep doing what he knows he's supposed to do next because that's what he practiced? And that's sometimes like Andy's like, it just wasn't hitting for me. It's like maybe they were doing what they were supposed to instead of like adapting to.
Yeah, I mean he's still like he only wrestled a few matches a year. It's not like he's a full-time wrestler, anyways.
And he's very athletic and all that, and blah blah blah.
And blah blah blah. Women's Tag Team Championship.
Blah blah blah.
Jeff Hardy.
They took Bayley out of this, saying she was injured and attacked. She was not injured and attacked. Not like Rey Mysterio. Bayley was replaced by returning Becky Lynch. And Lyra and Becky defeated Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez and became the new Women's Tag Team Champions. Lyra Valkyria became a double champ, the IC title, and the women's championships.
Can I just say, I love this until Monday.
Yeah, it was just for the pop, man. Also, people are realizing now Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. Raquel is Diesel. She's Liv's heater.
Duh.
You said duh. But match was a little short for a title match. All right, main event, dude. How'd y'all feel about this main event? People fucking are like, the match was terrible.
But what did John Cena say he's gonna do?
John Cena said he was not gonna give the fans basically anything.
Exactly. His entrance.
So yeah, talk about the entrance. You were like, this is crazy. It was just black screen with text. Like Adobe Arial John Cena.
It was crazy.
I watched the match twice.
I liked the match.
Fuck the ending.
Well, see, to me, the ending is exactly perfect because of Cena being an absolute heel, and he said he's going to do it exactly that way.
Travis Scott is my problem.
Oh, well, yeah.
That whole part.
Well, it should have been The Rock, because The Rock is the whole point. This is happening anyways.
Yeah.
So John Cena did say he wasn't going to give the fans, like,
his big last WrestleMania entrance.
No, as a good match, basically. Yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm starting to like second guess this heel turn because I'm like, that was Cena's last WrestleMania, and this is what we're gonna do.
So Cena
thought that go back and watch the match, and maybe
watch it twice.
But I'm just saying, if you watch it without the ending, it's a decent wrestling match.
People said it was slow. Cena was moving slow. I thought he was moving slow, as in like his moves are harder. Like he's laying it in more kind of look.
Yeah, and he was never like a fast paced wrestler.
Yeah, but the 5 moves of doom were extra slow this time.
Do you think he did that on purpose because he's now a heel and he's like purposely trying to piss off everyone?
He took off the turnbuckle pad, hit Cody into it twice. He did. Oh, speaking of Ready to Rumble, he crowned Cody like 3 times. The double axe handle off the top.
You gotta love a good double axe.
It's like the dumbest move to me ever.
The Hogan moves.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I hate that move so much.
What did someone say? Maybe it was them saying that he's Hogan. I think we were saying Cena's Hogan or something, or someone was Hogan from this past weekend.
But also, like when Travis Scott came out, it was a weird timing, anyways, too.
He took forever to get down the fucking ramp.
I was like, no one cares about your
so sick of that
looking title.
Fiend.
Literally, the entire WrestleMania is Fiend. But now Cena is the 17-time champion.
I saw a picture. It was like the picture of Triple H checking on Ric Flair backstage after Batista attacked him, and it was like Ric Flair after Charlotte loses and Cena becomes the 17th.
And also Cena, like how he wears the title belt too. He wears it like backwards.
Yeah.
So he's the 17th time. During the press conference, he came out. He said, "I will answer all questions this time." People would ask questions, and he said, "That sounds like clickbait." Next question. And every question is just like, "It's a clickbait question. You should do better." Next question. And then he's like, "Is that all questions? All right."
I feel like there's a part of him who's like, probably feels nice to say like some of these things.
Well, last time after he turned on Cody, he just dropped the mic. Remember? Should we talk about Steve Austin hitting?
Oh my God! Yes, that dramatic girl who fell.
Dude, I watched the video over and over. I was like, she fucking oversold that shit.
It was delayed.
Went over to check on her.
Somebody kept posting.
She got hit, and then she's like.
Somebody kept making this gif of it's like Batista messing up in a match, and he like badly times it, and he like bumps like way after the move, and someone's like, this is basically her, and it's like Batista like missing it and then like bumping later.
Well, I'll tell you what doesn't help. Do you guys see the other video of Stone Cold missing that huge ramp going up first?
Yeah.
That I was like, was he like drinking already, or was it like something like that? Because he was clearly not.
Couple Steve Weisers before you get on the
yeah.
I don't know though. The first time, did you notice though? The first time Stone Cold like leans over and you can think he's probably like, "Are you all right?" And she says something, then he like gets back in the ring, and then Nick Khan's like checking on her during it, and then though at the end, Stone Cold goes over again, and this time he really leans over, and I wonder if he was like, "Come on, bitch." I know. He's like, he's like, he's like, I know you didn't really fall like that. Come on.
Well, I read something they were whatchamacallit, like apparently worried about.
I mean, yeah, you have to be.
Yeah, a person sitting front row and you get hit by a 4-wheeler.
Right.
But she definitely took a dive for that one. That was crazy.
How do you feel about what Meltzer said about this main event? You ready? About Cody and John. He said it was one of the worst WrestleMania main events, I thought. Not the worst, but one of the worst.
No.
If it was in the Tokyo Dome, it would have gotten
10 star in Tokyo Dome.
10 stars.
Dude, someone wrote 10 stars, LOL. People were like, he told y'all. What did we get? What do we get? You get nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best, but it's definitely not even close to the worst at all.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about all this.
So overall, did you guys? I mean, I like Mania time. It's fun either way.
Yeah, no matter what, I always enjoy it. But this Mania was like, compared to the last Mania, just because last Mania I think was one of the best ever.
Dude, that was
and we were there.
That helps too.
All right, let's get into.
I do like to say that we were at one of the best Manias ever.
Yeah, top 3 for sure.
Yep. Let's get into Raw after Mania, aka WrestleMania Night 3. Best Raw after Mania that you can remember?
In a while.
Oh yeah, definitely in a while. Yes, yeah.
This Raw was fucking flawless.
Yeah, it was sick.
There was like no fat.
Heel turns. There's all kinds of things happening.
Like every single story that progressed or moved on to something else.
Tim was like, I thought the end segment ended like 3 times. And
I thought it ended when they were standing.
Hey, we get to it. We'll get to it.
No, I'm just saying.
Whoa!
That's when that's when I thought it ended the first time.
So show opened up with John Cena celebrating his record-breaking 17th world title win at WrestleMania 41. You see his new plates. It just says 17 time. In the press conference, he just took Cody's and tossed them aside. As Cena addressed the audience, Randy Orton would make a surprise appearance from behind, delivering an RKO to the new champ.
But he did. I like the part where he talked.
He said, "You heartless bastards! You boo Cody Rhodes after you put him on your shoulders last year. See, that's what's wrong with this." And he points to the fans, then back at him.
That's true.
It was a great line though, and you could tell he was genuine because they start booing when he says it, and he genuinely like chuckles for a second. And he's like, "You heartless bastards!"
Dude, they were booing him they were booing Cody at Mania and cheering Cena.
I know, it was crazy. But also, when Cena during this promo brought up how many dates he has left, he said it was like 23.
27.
27.
Is
Yeah,
what
he's
he
like,
knocked it
not
down to.
matches, appearances.
So he's barely going to be around.
Yeah. Well, you got to think how many more pay-per-views are left for the year? Like 6 or so?
Yeah.
And then probably 2 appearances in between.
I just don't know how you get out of this. Is John Cena's
Cody
wrestling
comes back.
Yeah, but is John Cena's wrestling career really going to end with him just being like, "All right, screw you guys"? And
his whole career.
Punk brings him back to the
Right.
Dude, there's not much time.
He acknowledged that though. Cena even said that he's like, "You guys think that someone's going to bring me back or whatever?" He's like, "It's not going to happen."
Well, Cena was saying he's going to retire with the title. He's like, and they'll make a new title. He's like, but this will be. I'm going to take the title that Bruno San Martino had,
Eddie
HBK,
Guerrero,
all of them.
You know what? When he said like the last real world champion, it made me think of when Punk was in AEW. He's like, "I'm the real world champion." Remember with the X over the title?
Oh yeah,
the real.
So Randy Orton, when he RKO'd him, I was like, "Ah!" I felt like I was like early teens again. Like
it was crazy though to see heel Cena and a face Orton because it never happened.
So it's Backlash is in Randy's home city, St. Louis, and so obviously that's
so
why
he's
they're
going to get a
doing it.
huge pop.
Oh yeah, but it's great, easy storytelling with their history and everything too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm really, really excited for that. Then we had the women's tag team championship match. This is why Jeremy said he didn't like it. Liv and Raquel would end up defeating Becky and Lyra. They had their titles for less than 24 hours. It was a WrestleMania rematch. Liv would secure the victory by pinning Valkyria. Post match, Lynch would attack Valkyria. Sudden heel turn just one day after their win. So we get heel Becky Lynch right now.
Andy's text to me was, "Thank God."
Yeah.
Thank God
that she turned heel.
I don't get the title switch though, back and forth. Like, why not just have them?
Because she's gonna go. Well, it was for you can't bring Becky back and then have her lose at Mania, I guess. And then you have Lyra get the pin, and it sets up Becky's now going after the IC title. She'll be a Grand Slam champion, basically, unless she has the United States title. But
yeah,
we had a scheduled match with New Day and Alpha Academy. We had the return of Rusev. Looking like his character Miro, still bald. Those boxing shorts that he wore in AEW. So he looked great. It looks like the same character in AEW, just using the name Rusev again.
Yeah, he didn't have any
to the Bulgarian brute.
Rusev,
yeah, he didn't have any the Russian
Rusev
or
Machka.
Yeah, he didn't have that music to him.
I wanted him to have that music.
His was just like default number 4. It felt like,
and they were chanting Rusev.
Fans were chanting Rusev Day, and he was like, I liked it, man. I liked seeing him back. I thought bringing him back on a Raw instead of a Mania was good. It would have been kind of underwhelming to bring him back at Mania, but the fans were behind it, especially Mania fans who are usually AEW fans and watch the other product.
I'm just curious to see where he goes from here, because that's always the thing.
He's a heel.
Yeah,
he attacked Alpha Academy, and the New Day got the fuck out of there. Then we had Io Sky addressing her Mania victory. She was interrupted by the wonderful NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Valkyrie. Big fan of her. This set up a match between them two, which to some is a dream match. This match was awesome until the interference of Roxanne and Julia from NXT attacked both competitors. Rhea Ripley would intervene. You could have this sets up future tag matches or rivalries between the groups. But Stephanie Valkyrie is great. I really, really want her to be on the main roster soon. We had the Intercontinental Championship match. Dominic Mysterio defeating Penta. This was with the assistance of a returning JD McDonough. I felt like this was a quick return.
Really? I felt like I haven't seen him in a while.
I mean, I just felt like for the injury, maybe not. Jey Uso and Sami Zayn segment. World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso celebrated his title win. Sami Zayn would come out. Jimmy Uso would come out. But while it was just Sami and Jey, you kind of had the look on Sami staring down the title with Jey, making it seem like a possible turn on him. But Jimmy would come out before that could happen. And as Tim was hinting at, we had the main event segment. Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman would address the audience, celebrating Rollins' victory at Mania. CM Punk would interrupt, coming out mid wrist tape wrap. And this led to a confrontation between them in a brawl. Roman would then appear. But this situation would escalate when a guy in a hoodie would come in and spear Roman Reigns. It would be revealed to be Braun Breaker, who would attack Reigns and Punk, spearing Roman again through a barricade on the outside. It looks like he has aligned himself with Rollins and Heyman. Rollins would say, "The future of this business goes through me," to Reigns, who was down on the ground. And the show concluded with Heyman. Do I keep doing that? Heyman, Rollins, and Braun standing tall, holding arms. The new dangerous alliance.
I will say though, like, it looks right. like Paul looks good with Seth and Braun. Like it's gonna work. I can tell already.
So, yeah, Tim was like, just wait. And like, as he's saying, just wait, I'm like, he's like, story's building. I was like, what's going to happen? Fucking Brock comes out and they're all fight over Heyman. I was waiting for his music to hit.
They had me for a second. I thought it was going to be Brock.
That would have been good. That would have been
I actually
I like this.
I actually thought it was going to be Brock. It made sense that it was Randy, but I actually thought it was going to be Brock when Cena was like, there's nobody, stronger than me, faster than me, and more ruthless aggression. I was like, Brock's going to come out right now. This is where Brock comes out. And then, but it was Randy, which also makes sense because they all come from the same.
They were in OVW together.
Yeah, the whole graduated class. But that would have also been a perfect return for Brock right there.
What do you think happens at Backlash? Do Punk and Reigns team up to take on Seth and Braun?
Oh, that could be good. Like tag team.
Roman Reigns is alone, man. He walked out that ramp alone. He really has lost everything.
Bloodline's done.
It is officially done, right?
I mean, yeah. He's cool with the Usos, but they're not a group anymore. So, yeah, does it set up a tag match? Braun and Seth versus Punk and Reigns? Would you like to see that Backlash?
That's what I think it's going to be.
That would be good, but I'm just curious to see, like, I don't know. It always feels weird when it's like Punk or Reigns in a tag team because they're like single competitors usually.
And what did Heyman say before all this stuff went down? He was saying about basically this is going all the way to 42.
Yeah.
Do you think this builds all the way to like Roman versus Seth at WrestleMania 42 throughout the year? It's a great rivalry.
Or is this, think of it this way, is this going to be the thing that catapults Braun Breaker to being a huge
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, like, maybe he's going to be the guy at WrestleMania 42.
Like him and Reigns?
Him and Reigns.
I can see him and Reigns at SummerSlam. Is this the year we get 2 nights of SummerSlam, or is that next year?
This year, right?
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it is because
that's crazy.
I love it. I'm happy as a wrestling fan. Give me 2 nights of all the pay-per-views. I want
10 hours of wrestling in a weekend is great.
Yeah,
I still say with Seth with Heyman, like Seth's a great character, but Roman doesn't need Heyman. Some would argue that Seth doesn't need Heyman, but it really will push.
Well, neither does Reigns or Punk, really.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I said Roman doesn't need Heyman anymore. Punk definitely doesn't need him. He's well established. Not that Seth isn't established, but Seth has said before, he feels like Triple H in the Attitude Era with guys like Austin and The Rock around. Like, he's not that guy.
Yeah, he was never the guy.
Yeah. And Reigns said he only has about 2 to 3 years left, and then he's going to move on to other endeavors, probably acting. But he said after this contract, he has about a year left in this contract. He's like, I might have like 2 more.
He's like, dude, I can do what Jason Momoa does. Just let me try.
I can be Aquaman.
I can be Aquaman too. I play Aquaman's brother.
But no, this is gonna bring Braun Breaker. I mean, I'm a big fan of Braun Breaker. I think he's great.
Big fan.
He's got everything. You see his math promo during the kickoff?
Yeah, that was great. Yeah,
so good. The original one is talking about a triple threat, right? Not a fatal 4-way.
Yeah, because it's like 33%, right?
This one he's like, I got 25%. He's like, then them. So that means I have a 52% chance. It's funny as shit. Great, yeah. Just to end the show. Great Raw after Mania. This week, this Friday, everyone watch Aleister Black return.
Can't wait for that too.
They told us the date last week, 4/25/25.
They did, yeah. So
yeah,
I was just like, when do you think it's gonna happen? In like middle of the show?
And who against who?
Maybe Chad Gable.
Nah, he's
What if Cody comes out and then he debuts again against them?
And Cody puts his boots again in the middle of the ring.
Yeah,
like,
the same storyline.
It's like wrestling has more than one royal family. And makes it an hour-long entrance.
His mask was cool at Mania. It was like Iron Man.
Was it though?
Was it though?
It was a little over the top.
Oh, should we talk about Punk's entrance really quick? I know we're all over the place, but
The band playing Living Color.
it was his 29 entrance redone, but this time he gets the main. It was, as Tim told me, it was the entrance of the Mania he felt he should be main eventing with. That was the one with the Undertaker.
Mm-hmm. The gray
Right?
hoodie.
And
Yeah, the gray hoodie and yellow
him
trunks.
and walked out with him, yellow trunks, Living Color playing.
Saying this was a redo.
Redid. And the stage was cool at Mania. Fun weekend, lots of wrestling. NXT had a really good stand and deliver pay-per-view.
What about the Bret
new
Hart,
champions.
Triple H shaking Bret Hart's
You can
hand?
talk
And
about
just
it.
be
You've
like,
been-
Bret Hart's like, God damn it.
so good. Does not give a fuck.
Lots of people fell asleep during the Hall of Fame. There was a lot of memes about it. Especially
Triple H
NXT.
talked for over an hour.
Triple H talked for over an hour. Everyone else was short, man. Shawn Michaels and Triple H kissed.
They kissed.
Undertaker said that none of the women's revolution basically would have happened without Michelle McCool, which people were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I don't know about that.
The Lex's speech was short, but it was good. DDP introduced him. Punk and Stone Cold and Bret Hart was a cool whole segment. It was short. I think Punk's speech was longer than their speech, but Punk was standing back like a little kid watching his heroes.
Especially when they have the beer out at the end.
Yeah. You see the video of him slowly stepping away. It was a fan video. He like walked all the way back to the entrance of the Titantron. But that's it, guys. Episode 171.
Yeah, we will join you next week on another episode of the PW Fan. Have a great week, everybody.
Goodbye, my friend.